It is that time again. We're going to get fit, okay? We have Coach Drew. He's here to take us back to the basics. Coach, thanks for coming in, man. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so, okay, so he's got a 9-to-5. He's got 2 young kids. And you have this coaching business where you help folks. And, you know, you spend a lot of your time online with regards to this. You interact with your clients, and you see, and I think that we all see, and we partake in sometimes on this segment, some of the challenges, some of these difficult for the greatest athletes to accomplish, let alone, you know, six-pack Joe out there, right? So you want to take us back to the basics. Where should we start?
Yeah, again, I see a lot of people on social media, like fitness influencers, just posting these crazy combo movements, but for the most part, my coaching really involves basic movements like the squat, deadlift, lunge variations, basic push-pull movements with the upper body, carries, and basic core work, honestly, just to focus on longevity, focus on health, and just basic movement. Because the people that need to get in shape, the people that are seeing those fancy movements on social media, they really need to spend more time just being consistent with the fundamentals rather than, like you mentioned before, trying to hit that peak of like, oh, I should be doing that crazy movement, and then that'll make me fit.
Right, and to be healthy is to be able to do things, to do, you know, when you guys, the trainers, you guys talk about functional movement.
Right.
And that's like literally just being able to reach up and open cabinets.
Exactly.
To bend down. So this brings us to the squat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, and it brings us to the squat. Again, I feel like the functional fitness is now a buzzword.
Sure.
And people are making these combo movements like a lunge to press to curl
and
on
that's
a BOSU
great
ball.
if that does you,
they
right?
They call it a functional fitness, but what good does it really do you?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, basic movements, starting with the squat.
So something somebody can do. So a squat. I think we all know what the squat is. Let me go sideways so you can see what I'm doing right
squat.
or wrong.
Everybody's a little different, but usually it's just outside of shoulder width, and we're just driving the knees apart. I like to coach my clients to like pull the floor apart.
Okay.
And then just.
What is the importance of that? And this is funny. You're squatting face to face.
The last time, the last time we were on, one of the last times, I don't know if you remember the push test. Where you're actually engaged. So when you're tearing the floor apart, you see my knees kind of drive out.
For sure.
It keeps you from this position.
Okay.
Where you're gonna really mess your knees up.
Okay.
It's gonna keep your glutes more engaged. If you feel that, a little more hip action as you drive the knees out and come back up. And another thing that I don't like seeing is when people do drive up and they hyperextend.
Okay, so that's not good. We don't want that.
Extra squeeze on the butt, we don't need it.
Okay.
We can squeeze our butt and stay tall. We want to focus on getting tall and rigid rather than hyperextending and driving the hips too far through, because that could put extra stress on your back.
Okay, so we have one more. Let's go. Should we go lunge?
Let's go lunges. Sure.
Okay, so the lunges, you take one step. Well, first of all, there's a question, back or forward, or what do you do?
It's a good question, actually. I prefer the reverse lunge, where you're stepping back, because it does get more hip range of motion. It takes stress off the knees.
Okay.
And I think it's more functional for, again, everyday movement.
Hey, Drew, I've heard both. The knee over the foot.
Correct.
Does that matter? Do you not want to go over?
Depends on your knee health. If you have wonky knees already, you might want to be careful and just keep your depth at a point where your knee doesn't go too far forward. But as long as your heels can stay on the ground, your knees can, if you have the ankle mobility to do it, your knees can go forward, that's fine. Okay,
so with squat, we have lunge, I think we might have a few more seconds. The push-up, we all know what that is, just real quick. Hands, where are we putting them?
Just outside of shoulder width.
Okay.
I want you to think about, again, tearing screwing your hands into the floor, so your elbows kind of tuck into the ribs.
Okay,
Keep
right
your core nice and tight. Okay. So that's another big thing, is keeping that core braced,
then
like
I'm going
somebody's
down.
gonna punch you.
Bam.
Yep, and then exhale on the way up.
Okay.
So that's a good job keeping your shoulders away from your ears.
That was
good
luck,
exhale
but I'll
on the
take
way
it.
up.
Okay.
And just keep that core real tight.
And it's simple, it's basic. You could do those 3 moves.
Yeah, and you get
a circuit of all 3, and that is a phenomenal workout.
Yep.
So we do not have to shoot for the moon.
No.
Do it if you want to, but don't forget the fundamentals. Where can we find you, Coach Drew?
StrengthLabHF.com or Coach Drew 30 on any of my social media.
I think you're taller than the last time I saw you.
Probably.
Every single time. She just never stops growing. All right, Drew, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
That is it for now.